Hello, everyone. Kara Melendi here with your astrological update. We have some exciting shifts happening in the cosmos right now, and definitely a deep time of transformation. And I believe I titled this Turning Your Suffering into Gold and Deep Level Self-Discovery. And that really is the theme right now with all the energy that we have focused in Scorpio, which in the zodiac holds that energy of the Phoenix rising. It's that energy of going through these dark times in our life and transforming into something even stronger and more powerful as a result. It's that energy of death and rebirth. And these are the themes that are really coming up in a strong way right now. So say hi if you are jumping on. Tiffany, Colleen, Rachel, hello, beautiful goddess. Welcome, and Bonnie. And share with me below, what is your zodiac sign? That's always fun. And if you know your chart a little better, share with me your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. So those are like the basics of astrology, and they're really a good place to start. I'll often have people message and say, I want to learn more about astrology. Where do I really start? And after your zodiac sign, which is actually your sun sign, the sign the sun was in at the time of your birth, I always recommend then studying your moon sign, which is equally as important. And it's so funny because a lot of us don't know our moon sign. We know our sun sign, right? But we're like, I don't know what my moon sign is. And it's equally as important, if not even more so, in really understanding what we need on a deep emotional level and like our instinctual responses to people and to situations. And then your rising sign is that outer image. So it's what you show to the world. And it really modifies how your zodiac sign is expressed. So say hi if you're jumping on. We got Aries rising here. Bonnie is a Sagittarius. I love that. So sun Sagittarius, moon Virgo, and rising in Scorpio. That's a powerful combination. So let's see who else is joining here. Hi, Rita. How are you? I believe Rita is a Scorpio as well. Perfect timing. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad you are catching me live. Welcome, welcome. And Jessica and Katie. So if you are just jumping in, share with me your sign, share sun, moon, and rising if you know that. So what really prompted me to jump on and share this today is there's a few things happening. I did do a video on the Venus retrograde in Scorpio and looking at detail into that and how that's really getting us to dive deep and look at these like soul level transformations in what we value in the world, how we're showing up in our relationships. And then this past week we had Mercury jump into Scorpio as well. And Mercury is the communication planet. So we all know, we've all heard of Mercury retrograde, right? And we know how that affects our communication and our decision-making process. So with Mercury right now moving into the sign of Scorpio, this is a really interesting mix that's just contributing to this inner reflection and this deep transformation that's going on right now. And with Mercury and Scorpio, we can really become like detectives in our life. And it gives us this opportunity to really dig deep and discover what our core beliefs are. Because the Scorpio energy is not interested in the superficial, it's not interested in surface level things. It wants to dig deep, it wants to get to the heart of things. So when Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio, for us all, we have that opportunity to get to some of these beliefs that we may not have noticed before, to like really dig deep into the heart of what is driving us in our life, because it's our core belief system that really does contribute to our energy and the vibration that we're putting out into the world and what we are calling into our experience. And sometimes we're not even aware of what those core beliefs are. But with Mercury now moving into Scorpio, we have this ability to dig a little deeper and gain some insight that we may not have previously had. And we're able to kind of see things in a new light. So say hi if you're just joining. Hi, Ariel. How are you? Nikita, am I saying that right? Welcome, goddess. So how can we find out what our moon and rising signs are? So there are charts online. You can put in birth chart calculators, and you do need to know your date, place, and time of birth, and then it will pull up that information. I also do in-depth readings as well, because often people will see their chart and they'll be like, how do I interpret all this? It looks cool, but how do I make sense of it all? But there are calculators online where you can get that information for sure. Jessica is a rising in Aries. I'm an Aries rising as well, Jessica, and a moon in Sagittarius, sun in Capricorn. Awesome. Hi, Marla. How are you? And Janelle, welcome. So this is, yeah, I mean, really a focus right now with Scorpio. It's like, what are we transforming in our life? How can we dig a little bit deeper? And with Jupiter now in the last few degrees of Scorpio, getting ready to go into its home sign of Sagittarius, so it's really building up momentum. I was actually doing a reading for someone this past week that had a ton of Sagittarius energy in our chart. And, you know, this goes for anybody that may be in the same boat, a lot of Sagittarius energy. As we come into November, you are just going to be given this boost of energy because Jupiter is moving back into your sign. It's moving back into its home sign after 12 years of traveling around the zodiac. So right now, though, as a collective, with Jupiter in these last few degrees of Scorpio, it's like we're on the other side of this transformation, because I know a large part of this year really has been doing that shadow work. It's been a year of new discoveries about who we are, what we want in life. I know more people are stepping up as spiritual leaders and light workers and really feeling this calling more strongly than ever before to like really live in alignment with their soul and really do the work that they know in their heart they're here to do, is this deep calling. And as part of that, it really is like a clearing process as well, right? When we really look at what we desire in life, we look at what our values are, we look at where we are being guided, then there's also this part that has to process some of the fears that come up with that, or some of the doubts or resistance that we have around aligning with what our soul purpose is, right? And the Scorpio energy and Jupiter retrograding in Scorpio has really helped us do that, and it helped us to bring about shifts really quickly. And now at these last few degrees of Scorpio, it is this feeling like we're coming out on the other side of it. And the work that we've been doing, if you've been doing the shadow work and this inner work, it's like you can start to see the light, and you can start to see the benefit, and you can start to have more clarity coming in as well, which is always welcome, right? We want that feeling of clarity on our path, and that's really coming into play too as Jupiter prepares to move into Sagittarius. So if you're just joining me now, say hi, share with me your zodiac sign below. I always love to hear that. Your sun, moon, and rising if you know it. Marla's a Libra sun. Yes, your birthday was not too long ago, right, Marla? Wasn't that, I think, just a couple days ago? So happy birthday, happy solar return. Each year on our birthday, it's actually our like new astrological year. I see that as even being more important than like the new calendar year, because it marks like when the sun reaches the sign it was in at the time we were born. It is that new solar year, and it's like we have this new energetic blueprint to now work with for the year ahead. So it really is this fresh start and a new beginning. So your birthdays are really worth celebrating. It really is like this new energy that you're called to work with for the year ahead. Amanda, okay, hello. We got, who else jumped in here? Michelle's a Scorpio, welcome. So also with the Scorpio energy, I've talked about a lot of, you know, the benefits of working with this and the transformation that comes with it, and this opportunity to really turn like some of our deepest challenges and our pain and our core wounds into our strength, because we're often the best at like teaching the things that we have gone through. It's often like through those hardships, through those challenges, that we really discover who we are. We discover our strength. We can even deepen our faith in that time, our connection to our higher self. Of course, we have to be open to that, right? And we have to allow that. We have to invite that in. And it's at the same time, we don't have to grow through hardships. And I was talking about this in my membership site this past week as well, that we can allow ourselves to grow through joyful experiences and affirm that as well. That I grow, I expand through joy. It doesn't always need to be in the struggle. But when we are looking at Scorpio energy, it is often the darkness, the struggle that allows us to really step up and to expand and grow. And during this time as well, we also want to look at like the shadow sides of Scorpio and how that's kind of playing out in our life too, and look at some of those themes. So with some of the shadow of Scorpio, we may see like feelings of jealousy coming up. So getting stuck in a place of comparing our path, our journey, what we're doing to someone else. It could also be this need to control. So Scorpio energy they want to feel safe, like we all do, right? We all want this sense of safety and security in our life. And with Scorpio energy, it can often be this belief that in order for me to have this safety, this security, I need to control my surroundings. So take a look in your own life at where that may be coming up, where you're feeling like I need to control everything around me in order to be okay. That's the shadow side of Scorpio that we work with. The shadow can also be manipulation of other people, because Scorpio energy gives us this ability to see through the facade, to see to the heart of where someone is. And so powerful with Mercury in Scorpio is actually to combine the intellect with emotions. And we can take a look at that a little deeper because that's super powerful. But just looking at where some of these shadow themes may be emerging in your life and remembering that things come up to be healed, right? So with the control, if there's this desire to feel like in order for me to be safe and secure, I have to have everything controlled, I have to control things around me, then the other side of that is learning to surrender and learning to trust and learning to use like our intuitive gifts and to use them from a heartfelt place and to show up in our energy, in our relationships as well, leading from a place of love and not feeling the need to manipulate those around us. And then as well, letting go of that need to compare what we're doing or our path to anyone else's and remembering we're on a unique journey. So let me know if this is resonating with you and if you've seen some of these themes emerging in your life. And again, this is regardless of whether you are a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. We're all collectively, this is the transits right now, this is where the planets are, and we all have Scorpio in our chart somewhere. So these themes are emerging, and how they're going to be altered is really depending on any personal planets that it's activating in your chart. The house that is transiting in your chart is also going to give you a glimpse into like the overall themes of where this transformation is happening. And I mean, even just looking at your own life, you'll probably see those themes of where you felt called this year to go a little bit deeper and to look under the surface and maybe make some major changes, right? For many, it has been a year of major change as well. Nikita saying totally. Michelle's a Scorpio too. Love this. Marla, yes. So green. Awesome. Hello, Cynthia is a Leo sun, Scorpio moon, and Aquarius rising. Ooh, I love that. Powerful combo there. That's awesome. A double Sag and a Pisces for Janelle. Awesome. Okay, let me scroll down here. Hello, Kelly. How are you? And Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. Tammy, let me see. I did see some controlling surface indeed. Yeah, that's an interesting one with Scorpio. And anyone that has a lot of Scorpio energy in their chart, major life lesson for them is how do I surrender? How do I trust? And then because like this is the transits that are happening right now with all this Scorpio energy, it's also collectively a theme, right? How do I trust, right? How do I have faith? And I think we have to do our part. We always have to take action. That is so key. But then once we've done our part, it's surrendering the rest. And it's also learning that I can feel safe and secure without needing to control everything in my environment and the people in it. That's a huge lesson with Scorpio as well, right? Is learning how we find that sense of security and safety by going within, right? And like connecting to the heart and the core of who we are. And so another powerful thing happening right now is we do have this opposition with the Scorpio energy, and specifically with Mercury now in Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus. So Taurus and Scorpio, they're opposite signs, right? So we have this opposition in place. And something else that's happening right now that's big in astrology in the cosmos, because this doesn't happen often, is Uranus is actually forming a square with the north and the south node. And this is another thing in a chart that's like very indicative of change happening. Because in astrology, our north node is like our life path, is what we're learning this lifetime. So when I do readings for people, I always zoom in on their north node, and I can usually tell that right away as well, because our north node is like, it's lessons we're here to learn. So we're not necessarily like a master at that yet. For instance, if we have like a north node in Aries, we're learning to really master like leadership and independence this lifetime. And that may be a struggle because our south node is in Libra, so we're used to connection and relationships. But this lifetime, our soul chose to come forward and master some of these lessons. So collectively right now, we've had the north node in Leo. So we're learning, like, how do I lead from a place of love? How do I learn to allow my light to shine in the world, to take center stage in my life? And now with Uranus activating the north node as well as the south node, so the north node where we are going, it's signaling change on that path. And a lot of us are really questioning, where do I feel called to go right now? Where am I being guided right now? Is there places in my life, whether it's in my business or in my relationships, where I feel stuck and I'm just doing things out of habit rather than what really lights me up? So we're really questioning that. And again, that kind of goes back to where we've seen these major shifts take place, which I love. So many light workers and spiritual leaders stepping up and sharing their gifts. And we're going to see more of that when the north node moves into Cancer as well. So it's super powerful. And just the other side of this as well, with Uranus activating the south node, that's bringing up a lot of karmic themes this year as well. Karmic relationship themes, soul contracts that are emerging, and just that feeling again of doing very deep layers of healing. And then of course, depending on how deeply you want to go with this, if you do past life work, it can also be healing themes from past lives that are influencing you in the present life. We're doing a lot of that as well. So let me know if this is resonating, or if you're noticing these themes. If you have any questions around anything, let me know as well. And I'm going to read some of these comments in here. Kelly, I'm trying to understand and embrace all my Scorpio aspects in my chart since things seems to be lit up a bit right now. Yeah, you know what? Where a lot of us are feeling this. And the thing is, like, not everybody, and without reading people's charts, I don't know for sure, but and just the way this transit is falling with the Venus retrograde, it's activating the planet Pluto for a lot of people, the planet Neptune, or the planet Uranus. And these are changes. This is, again, like major changes. And then depending, of course, on what your chart is, it's going to determine how that's playing out. But you know, we're feeling that in our life. Like, it's really just time to look at what I desire. And a lot of this is like really positive, beautiful change. Like with Jupiter in the last degrees of Scorpio, it is that energy now of, I've been through the shadow work. I'm ready to come out stronger. I'm ready to embrace the light. That energy of turning the suffering into gold, taking those lessons that I've learned and now using that to be of service. So like really beautiful, powerful shifts for sure. Cynthia is feeling those vibes lately. And Shanja is here. Shanja, I am going to message you back tonight. I did receive your message. Tammy as well. And Nikita, I found out rising sign is Cancer and moon in Pisces. Thank you. You are welcome. Oh, what a beautiful combination. Very, very intuitive and compassionate. Wow. That's like the caregivers of the zodiac for sure. Crystal, I got my Aries north node as well. Okay, scrolling down here. Nikita, this transit has been crazy and rough, but the results have been so uplifting and amazing. Yeah. And we are coming out on the other side. I think like November and December, we're really going to feel like the momentum picking up, and a lot of the work that we've been putting into place now picking up as well. Because another thing to remember this year is we had all the planets retrograde. So at some point this year, each of the planets took their turn to retrograde. Of course, the big one now that's happening is the Venus retrograde, where we're really looking at the divine feminine energy within us, our ability to receive. And that's so key, right? Like if we have blocks or resistance around receiving what we desire, we're not going to experience that manifestation. So the Venus retrograde is that opportunity to release some of that resistance, right? And some of those blocks around tapping into that stream of abundance and prosperity that's always there for us. And so that's major with these shifts and changes. So I'm just going to have a look at some of the notes I made on the chart and see if there's any other major things around this. Okay. So also, just keeping in mind throughout all this that we are in Libra season, which is really awesome because we have this deep Scorpio energy, which is like dive deep, really get to like the core of what's going on in your life, what you desire in your life, tapping into that powerful ability that you have to create what you want. That's important to know too with the Scorpio energy. Like, I'm a powerful creator. I can attract what I desire into my experience and like fully owning that deeply. And with the sun in Libra right now, throughout it all, we're trying to find this new sense of balance. And I know balance is a funny thing. I've heard people say as well, you know, there's no such thing as balance. And I think what it is we just all have to define for ourselves, what does balance look like in my life right now? And if there's something that really needs my attention or something that I've been neglecting in my life, which Venus retrograde can bring that up too. If we've neglected something in our life that needs our attention, that can just get louder at this time. So it's like finding that sense of inner balance, that sense of peace and harmony throughout the change and transition. And I think part of that too, and I've done a lot of work lately with clients around this and in my own life too, and on my own journey, it's like learning to detach from the stories we create. So even though at times things can seem hectic in the outside world or chaotic, things are happening around us that can feel outside of our control, I feel like the Libra sun right now is that reminder that amidst it all, we can come back to balance. We can choose again. We can choose love. We can choose to be in a place of peace. We can choose not to just be reactive to what's happening, but connect to our higher self and really know the truth, right? Know the truth of who we are. See the truth in the situation, because sometimes in that struggle, it's hard to see. But if we stay connected to our higher self, we can see the blessing, we can see the lesson, and we can know that I can return to love and peace at any time. And that's a really beautiful, powerful thing that is a reminder with the Libra sun amidst all of these changes right now. It's really cool. Hi, Betsy. How are you, goddess? Lori Ann, the way the light is, looks like your third eye is glowing. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Lori. Yes, I love this lighting for sure. Thank you. Kelly, since my Venus and Jupiter and Neptune are all in Scorpio, wow, this must be why it seems so potent right now in my thoughts. My Libra aspects are my saving grace, though. Beautiful, yeah. Well, the Libra aspects helps it balance it all out, right? Like amidst this time of change is that reminder, choose peace, choose harmony, and it does balance it out for sure, for sure. Let's see, Rita, I'm owning up to a lot that will help me move forward easier in my transition. It's working. Oh, love it. Love it. Yes. So another big shift that's happening this week as well is on Saturday, we're going to have the sun squaring Pluto, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So this energy is coming in again, and it really is the sun in astrology representing our identity, how we're showing up in the world. And Pluto forming that square is transition. It's really looking at how I am presenting myself to the world. What is that identity? And going back to that question of, does it really feel aligned with my soul? Does it feel aligned with who I am at my core? And if not, that Scorpio energy is saying transform, choose again. We have that ability, right, to create that transformation if we're not happy with how things are going. So super powerful as well. Hi, Ashleen. How are you? Good to see you on here. Capricorn Sun, Libra rising. Explains my love life. Yes. Awesome stuff. Okay. So I think I've touched on the main things if you want to get access to the new moon healing and activation that I did, you can still grab that. So just send me a message. We're still in a new moon cycle. So even though the new moon was last week, right, the new moon kicks off a new cycle. So throughout October, we're still working with a lot of these themes around what we value, our relationships. So if you want in on that, send me a message and I can send you that link. And I do as well still have 2 spots left for my Akashic Records readings. And the Scorpio energy right now is the perfect time to really explore the records and connect to your soul blueprint and the work that you're here to do. So send me a message if you want to grab one of those last spots. And let me just see if there's any more questions here. Krista's so ready for transition. It's been intense, but great. Yeah. And again, it's just like, it's affirming that, right? Like I can also grow and transform through joy as well. Again, it's often can seem like it's through our struggle, it is through our hardships, and it can come that way as well. But it's also affirming that I choose to grow and expand through this place of joy, and that's powerful as well. All right, sending love and light to you all. Thank you so much for hanging out this Friday night. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.